Hey everybody, Liz Potter here. So I've been getting a lot of questions about the sensitive kids and the crystal kids just simply refusing to do things. And I've even had a conversation about this with some staff that work at the collegiate level. And the professors are just astonished that they hand out an assignment and the student simply refuses to do it and will gladly take the failing mark as opposed to doing something that's not in their box of authenticity, in their box of integrity. And that's what we're seeing right now. And so the sensitives and the crystals are here to help us turn inward and find our own authenticity and our own integrity and lead us back to really making decisions that are in tune with that. And so absolutely, you're going to find kids who, and adults really, who just simply don't have room for negotiation as it relates to what falls into their box of integrity and what does not. And so they'll gladly take a failing mark, or they'll gladly lose a job. They'll gladly walk away from things that simply don't match their integrity. So as we go into that, I want you to take a look at your crystal kids and your sensitive kids and ask yourself, how can I really help them thrive? And especially going into adulthood and maturing, how can I really help them thrive and not just get by energetically, emotionally, financially? There's more to life than just getting by. And they know this, but the way they see us living teaches them that there's a different way, which is just barely getting by. And so intuitively they know there's more to life than that. Intuitively they know our methods, our thought processes, a lot of our social standards are bogus and they go against their box of integrity. But they often, unless they're led or shown to things that fall into their box of integrity, they never really get a chance to witness it. So what do you do as a parent, as a teacher, as a caregiver to help this? One of the ways you do this is you step aside. And instead of parenting from the standpoint of, I have power over you because I'm older, I'm wiser, I'm this, I'm that, you approach from, I am a parent, yes, and there are things that I have to do as a parent to keep you safe and healthy, etc. But you also approach from the, I am one with you, we're both human, we both make mistakes, we're both energetic beings, we're both on this journey, and really allowing them to participate in day-to-day functions and put their input in on day-to-day functions. So one of the things we see is with the super sensitive and the crystal kids and the rainbow kids is that they refuse to go potty. You see really late potty trainers, and you see kids in agony, really, because they refuse to go potty. And part of this is that the only control they feel like they have is in the going to the bathroom application. And we need to give them more spaces, more opportunities, more advanced options to make daily decisions that affect them. So if you have really little kids, you can start by picking out 2 outfits that you want them to wear and are okay with them wearing, and then they can decide from one of those 2. And as they get older, they just start picking out their own. Or if there's options for reading a book. Do you want to read this book or do you want to read that book? We homeschool, and part of the process that I use for homeschooling is I set out what we need to accomplish for the week, and I put it in a pile, and then I say, okay, today you choose what you want to work on today. instead of forcing it down their throat. It's something that energetically it matches them. They're more interested in learning it that day because they're more invested in it. They've made the choice for it. So if you can apply and find ways for them to really take advantage of making more decisions that impact them throughout the day, that will be of great assistance to them. That will be of great assistance to you as well, because it keeps their energy high. It keeps them in the know. It keeps them from guessing what's next, which a lot of the times crystal kids and highly sensitive kids are very high anxiety and they always want to know what's next. So that is one way that we can help them. One is to step aside, get out of their way, include them in more of the daily decisions and conversations. And they're intuitively picking up on this anyway. And in the talks that I give to my clients, I often say, listen, when we were growing up, finances were never anything that you talked about with the entire family. That was something held between the adults. And now we're parenting and we're dealing with such empathic kids that they know intuitively that something's up with the finances, even though they've never been included in a conversation. And so take that guessing game, take that anxiety away from them and tell them, this is what's up with the finances. This is our budget for today or this month, and this is what it looks like. Include them in those conversations and decisions. We're going to have to give something up this month. What is it we should give Allow them to be part of the problem solving. And I'm going to tell you this from my own personal experience, is the crystal kids have exceptional and very creative problem solving skills. And if you include them on this decision-making process and the problem-solving process, you're going to be blown away. Which leads me to this. The other way that we can simply get out of their way is to not project our wants and our desires for their future school-age kids. Them. You see a lot of, well, what do you want to be when you grow up? A doctor, a lawyer, or this or that. And what I think we need to focus on is, what do you want to be when you grow up that sustains blank? Happiness, authenticity, your personal integrity, things like that, the higher vibrational energies that we carry. And so allow them to think about it in that aspect versus, oh my gosh, as a lawyer you can make such and such a year. And kids so know that we're moving away conversations and get them away from the material aspect of it, because it doesn't matter where they're bringing us. That doesn't matter, thankfully. So what we want to do then is incorporate this. Okay, so what do you want to do? What's going to bring you the greatest amount of happiness? Maybe it's building things. Maybe it's engineering things. Maybe it's tearing things down. Maybe it's becoming a complete minimalist and living on the streets. All of these things are completely against our social standards for success. And we need to allow that to take place. They're breaking down our social standards for success because they no longer serve us. They're junk. And so we need to allow them to come in and say, you know what, I'm going to live on the streets. When I grow up, I'm going to live on the streets. So those are a few ways that we can step aside and let them grow. Let them lead, let them teach us. Let them really flourish and find what falls into their box of integrity. For them, their box of integrity is pretty small. For the indigos, it's a little bit bigger. And with the indigos, it has a little more flex in it. With the crystals, it has very little. Because what they're doing is changing the world. They're absolutely changing the world. And we just need to step aside and support and encourage and help them along that way.